Hi everyone, I'm Josh and welcome to Josh Wright Piano TV. I have a really weird little piece of advice for each of you today. I don't remember, I was trying to think which teacher made me do this. It was either Susan Duhlmeyer or Sergei Babayan. And this is a really fun exercise. So I'm not going to be talking because I'm going to be getting on the floor to show you this. But basically, I was watching a little Glenn Gould documentary, and I was like, why does he sit so dang low? And I was, playing. I like a high bench position, mostly because my arms are pretty long, and I like that crease to, kind of be at a right angle. I like the bottom of my arm to kind of be level with the key tops. You can read all sorts of different opinions. You ultimately do what's comfortable for you. But I was just like, I want to see what that feels like. And immediately it triggered this memory for me. So I remember it must have been Sergei Babayan that told me this, but he said you need to practice on the floor. For some reason, I can't remember the exact passage that he was wanting me to do, but so I did this again the other day. I was feeling a little ungrounded for some reason, just a little shallow, and that can happen when your bench is a little too high, and you have a little more power to go into the keys when you're a little higher. I feel like I got more back support, but you can get a little shallow if you're kind of playing down like this. So let me just demonstrate. I guess I can turn this down so you can hear me still. So if I get down on the ground, hopefully you can still hear me. I'm just going to play C major or B major scale, even easier scale. Okay? It's a very strange feeling. But what it does is it really helps you release kind of like your shoulder and your back, okay? And then you can go to a low bench position. So I'm gonna go as low as I can. By the way, I love these benches. I've done videos on them. They're called Hidrau Model, M-O-D-E-L, and Hidrau is H-I-D-R-A-U. And I have a discount code if you'd like to check these out. These are I love these. I even travel with these if I'm on a road trip to a concert, because a lot of the Jansen artist benches do not go high enough for me. When the 9-foot Steinways are up on caster wheels, I'm like, it's just a little too low. Then I'll go to a low bench position like this, and already I'm feeling a little bit more grounding in the keys. And you might not be seeing a lot of difference. And then when I go back to, my normal kind of middle of the road, maybe a little higher than middle of the road bench position, I feel much more connected to the keys, because what that does when you're on the ground like that, you're really feeling your back release. Your shoulder has to just kind of hang there. You're not winging out your elbows. A lot of times students will do this. That's virtually impossible to do when you're in that position. You're much more relaxed overall, and you're feeling the natural use of your body. So I really like that. I know in Daniel Trifonov's interview with my friend Scholt Bognar, Z-S-O-L-T is his first name, B-O-G-N-A-R. He runs this amazing series called Living the Classical Life here on YouTube and on Instagram. You should all check it out. But I remember Daniel, I don't have enough room, the wall's right here, but he'll turn his bench and then he'll lay down on his bench and it takes all the weight out. And I'm not going to try to recap what he said. You can just watch the video. It's really good. But basically that again messes with your weight perception. And when you go back to a normal bench position, things feel a lot more buttery and smooth. So a strange little tip today, but I hope that helps. Experiment with it. And you may even find that, I found the other day that, I liked that much lower. Well, okay, this is usually my regular position, about right there. And I found that over the last couple days, maybe just that inch or so that for you guys. You guys have asked me, so many of you asked me to do a tutorial on that piece, so I've been working on that one. I am not coming out with that tutorial for at least a couple more months. I want to live with that piece for a while. But it just felt a little more grounded with that much difference in my bench position. So kind of experiment with that. I was kind of in a rut. I felt like a little bit like shallow. And I don't know how many of you would even notice that in my playing. It might just be an internal thing. My wife has really, really sharp ears. And I was like, look how bad my B major scales look. She's like, Josh, they sound great. Like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, don't you see that I'm like, it just doesn't feel right? And she's like, you're crazy. And I did that exercise. And I was like, oh my gosh, that like fixed it. So it was kind of fun. So just experiment with that and find what position your body's most relaxed at. Yeah, ergonomically, a lot of pedagogues say that the positions that I was telling you, kind of like a right angle, the bottom of this, about even with the key tops, is a good standard position. I don't like to teach students, extremes, especially not way too high. Like, this is really detrimental for a student to be up really this high. And I also think it's really detrimental to be extremely low. If I had to choose between the two, I'd probably say a little lower is better than way too high, but middle of the road is good, but those little adjustments can make a huge difference. So hope that helps. If any of you have any questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. If you don't mind subscribing and liking this video and sharing it if you found it helpful, it truly helps the channel to be spread to more people, and I'm very grateful for that. It's fun to connect with so many of you. I'll leave a few links in the description below. The first two will be the first one will be for a free webinar containing 10 of my favorite practice tips. These are pretty timeless. I made that webinar a couple of years ago, and I've thought of refilming it, and I'm like, I really still use all of those tips so in my daily practice and teaching, so I haven't changed it. So if you haven't seen that, I would recommend that. Those are tips that I've learned from master teachers that have really helped me a lot, and some things I've discovered in my own practice sessions. Two other links are for a couple of my paid courses, Pro Practice and the VIP Masterclass series. Those are the only paid courses I have, and they go a lot further in depth than this channel in case you need a little extra help in your studies. And then finally, a link to all this gear that I use in my studio, including these benches. There's some discounts there. And then just links to all the gear that I use to record these videos in case you're wanting to record yourself. I also have some theory books and CD recommendations and some other fun things in there if you'd like to check that out. That will also be in the description below. Have a great week, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe and healthy during this pandemic. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.